Today's the second day of the annual 4th CCMA Labour Conference by the Department of Labour. The conference is themed 25 years in pursuit of social justice and equity to encourage conversations affecting the labour world as a whole. Yesterday, Labour and Employment Minister Thulas Nxesi urged members, or rather public servant unions, to engage further on the wage offer presented by government this after two unions, the South African Policing Union and the Public Servants Association, obtained strike certificates. For more on the story, let's cross live now to our colleague, economics reporter Katlego. Legodi, a very good morning to you, Katlego. What are some of the issues that were highlighted yesterday?
A very good morning to you, Desiree, and to our viewers at home. It's been actually a marathon of engagements here on the ground where that Labour Conference, the 4th annual Labour Conference is concerned. The role of dispute resolution institutions like the CCMA and the Labour Courts just coming under a sharp focus here on the ground. Also, it's been 25 years since the introduction of the Labour Relations Act, and an opportunity really for the institutions that are gathered here to reflect on where we are as a country in terms of the enforcement of that act and its impactors on the ground where the people that it's supposed to serve are concerned. We are on day 2 and about 500 delegates have gathered here. They gathered here from early in the morning, and we'll see the program running into the afternoon. And this is where we have economists here. We have people from the legal fraternity, lawyers here, as well as we have civil society and labor organizations on the ground as well, just to try and embark on engagements in terms of where we are, where issues of labor are concerned. You can imagine that the CCMA and other institutions are poised really to attend to issues of the labor and the workforce and the needs of those on the ground in terms of ensuring that there's job security as well. But I'm going to bring in the chairperson of the CCMA, Professor Inos Nguchane, who will just let us in on day 2 of the CCMA Labour Conference here on the ground and what really we can expect. We've seen the ILO, it has already presented, and we're expecting other speakers as well to touch down here and to make their presentations on day 2. Sir, welcome to the SABC. Let us in on where we are and let's reflect really on what happened in day 1.
Thank you very much, Katlego, and thank you to our listeners as well. I think the first day went extremely well. We had an exciting, program with the lineup of, interesting speakers, so to say. Starting with the minister who was here yesterday, just talking about the issue of the Labour Act itself, Labour Relations Act itself, just also looking at the challenges that the country is facing vis-a-vis employment itself and vis-a-vis, the regulations that are, sort of guiding the Labour Relations Act in this country.
Maybe just let us in as well as to these are discussions that are ongoing. Where do we expect, the issues that are raised here to end up? We know that government was here, the minister was here as well in terms of their role where the Labour Relations Act is concerned. But can we see some sort of difference, made and these resolutions that are met here just enforced on the ground to help mainly the employers that are in desperate need of intervention?
Yes. If you listen, for example, to, JP, addressing us yesterday, the judge president, talking about some of the challenges that the Labour Court is sort of confronted with. As you know, the CCMA produces a lot of awards, that some of them might end up at the Labour Court. And that brings a lot of, pressure into the system as a whole. He outlined some of the problems that are confronted by the Labour Court itself. The shortages of, judges, which is one of them. The system is under pressure, right? And therefore, all these issues that are raised here is issues that we are going to be taking to government so that government is able to address these issues and be able to make resources available, for example, for the Labour Court in order to meet the demands that are on the ground vis-a-vis all the cases that are referred to the Labour Court.
And just finally on my end, I see that today on the program we're expecting business to also form part of discussions here in terms of Mr. Bonang Mohale who will be coming through, and we saw the International Labour Organization also taken to the podium to make their presentations here on the ground. What themes can we expect, throughout the day? And really, we know very well that this is going into the afternoon, where we're expecting the director of the CCMA to give closing remarks. What can we expect? What are the themes that can be threshed out today?
A number of issues that are going to come up, even from the panel itself, in terms of the experience of the CCMA, in terms of what are the gaps that we need to address as a CCMA, what are the gaps that we need to address as the Labour Court, issues that are facing our people in this country, in terms of influx of people who are coming from outside and taking jobs. That's one of the issues that is challenging, that the minister was talking about yesterday, in terms of making a point that we strengthen, laws around that area, where people who are coming from outside are not supposed to be, flooding areas where we don't need, those types of steels, because they are available in our country, you know what I mean? And therefore, those are the areas where we need to sort of look at in order to assist the economy going forward.
Yeah, Professor Nguchane, thank you very much, sir, for your time. That is the chairperson of the CCMA, just setting us off in terms of what we can expect throughout the day. We know business is going to be forming part of this. The international labor organizations are also here to form part of proceedings here on day 2, and we're also expecting a panel discussion that will get underway. Most of the delegates here will be taking stock of what happened in day 1 and going into day 2, and what are those really issues that needs to be taken to government and the CCMA so that there's a difference and some sort of a change in situations on the ground. But notably is the fact that the CCMA also marking and celebrating a clean audit in the year 2021, 2022, something that really they're celebrating here, to say that more or less the CCMA is just one of those institutions that is well poised, and it is a need in this country to attend to issues that exist in the labor space. Desiree?
Legodi, they bring us up to speed on day 2 of the CCMA conference. And as you heard there yesterday, the Minister of Labour, Thulas Nxesi, using that platform to reach out to public sector unions to accept a 3% offer that government has put, wage increase that government has put on the table.